HoloNetAudio.com. This is fanfiction only. Star Wars: The Void That Gets Less Empty. Written by Joe Mignano. Narrated by Niessink.
Tatooine, 34 years after the Battle of Yavin.
You ever think about leaving?
Fixer's question came out like a bolt from a blaster, sudden, leaving a scorch mark in the quiet between them. Cammy didn't look up from the moisture sensor in her hands. The readings flickered, indicating a desperate shortage of vital resources. Where? She asked, thumbing the rust off the display. Mos Eisley's got the same dust, just more noise, and it stinks like a bantha's backside. Fixer wiped grease from his knuckles onto his already filthy coveralls. The speeder bike engine between them whined as he tightened a bolt.
Not just Mos Eisley. Anywhere.
He jerked his chin toward the horizon where the twin suns bled orange into the sky.
Out there.
The sensor chirped, a bad sign. Cammy sighed and tossed it onto the workbench. Out there's just more sand, she muttered. She pushed open the door of Fixer's shop and stepped into the dry heat. Anchorhead hadn't changed in decades. Some squat buildings, some cracked streets. Only the faces got older, or disappeared. Some nights when the wind howled through the canyon passes, she swore she could hear the echoes of laughter. Luke's, Biggs's, carried on the air like ghosts. Cammy squinted against the glare as she looked off into the distance. Somewhere beyond the ridge, past all the other abandoned moisture farms, the Lars homestead stood empty, in ruin. Luke's home. She hadn't been back since. Fixer's shadow fell across the doorway.
You're thinking about it again,
he said. Not a question. Cammy flicked a pebble with her boot. That old moisture evaporator by Luke's place, she said. Might still have parts worth salvaging. Fixer exhaled through his nose.
That's half a day's walk for scrap.
She turned to him, the twin suns at her back, casting her face in shadow. You got a better idea? The engine hissed behind them, spitting coolant onto the floor. Fixer didn't answer. Cammy tugged her scarf tighter around her neck and started walking, leading Oronto by a long tether. The pack animal obediently followed without complaint. The sand whispered underfoot, each step kicking up tiny storms. She didn't look back. She'd made the trip on foot once before, decades ago, when Luke's land speeder broke down and she had no choice but to walk all the way to Tashi Station with her friends. Her friends. There were so many good memories, and she cherished each one of them. No matter how difficult or dangerous life on Tatooine could be, no one could ever take her memories from her. And she honored what physical things remained from way back then. Cammy's boots sank into the dunes, the weight of each step dragging like a lifetime of unfinished conversations. The homestead wasn't far, just over the ridge where the sand turned compact, where the wind had carved hollows into the rock like a butcher scooping out marrow. But distance wasn't measured in kilometers here. It was in the way the air tasted when you breathed too deep, in the ache behind your ribs when you remembered things best left buried. The evaporator stood crooked in the dirt, its skeletal frame bleached white by decades of exposure to the suns. Cammy ran her fingers along the rusted joints, flaking lead dust onto her gloves. Something clattered inside when she shook it. Good. Parts meant salvage. The homestead's door yawned open ahead, hinges long torn free by scavengers or time. She hesitated. The inside smelled of dry rot and lingering ozone, like a blaster shot trapped in the walls. Cammy's shadow stretched across the empty floor, bisecting the ghostly outlines where furniture once stood. She crouched, brushing sand from a single, sun-faded toy. A wooden bantha, one ear chipped. Luke's? Or some other child's, left behind when the Empire came knocking? A scuff of boot leather sounded behind her. Someone was trespassing on sacred ground. Cammy spun, hand flying to the pistol at her hip. The woman stood silhouetted in the doorway, her stance loose but ready, like someone used to exits more than entrances.
Didn't mean to startle you,
she said, voice rough from the dunes. Cammy's pulse thudded in her throat. Startle's a strong word. She straightened slowly, thumb resting on the pistol's safety. You lost? The woman's eyes flicked past her, taking in the hollowed-out home.
No,
she said. Then, softer.
Just late.
There hasn't been anyone for so long, Cammy said, referring to the abandoned homestead. Who are you? The woman looked at her briefly, then said,
I'm Ray.
Ray who? Cammy replied, wondering to herself if this new person was a looter or if they'd some legitimate business here at the home of her old missing friend. Then Cammy looked at the rusty evaporator strapped to the back of the Ronto she was slowly guiding back toward Anchorhead.
I'm Ray Skywalker,
came the confirmation that Cammy Marstrap silently sought. Well, she said, dusting sand from her knees, guess we're going the same way. Ray hesitated, then bent to pick up the wooden bantha toy, turning it over in her hands. A crack ran through its belly, the wood worn smooth by absent fingers.
You knew him,
she said, not a question. And Cammy felt the weight of all the years pressed down like a second sun. Yeah, the word tasted like grit. Before he was a hero, when he was just a kid dreaming of the sky, I guess he got to live his dream. Ray tucked the toy into her belt pouch without ceremony. The gesture was quick, practiced, like someone used to carrying broken things.
Tell me,
she said. The two continued on their slow journey to Anchorhead as the first of the two suns dipped below the horizon. A short distance away, the shimmering auras of two other Skywalkers looked on approvingly. As Ray and Cammy walked toward Anchorhead together, swapping stories about their mutual friend, they formed a bond, becoming friends themselves. Some people live extraordinary lives, others just ordinary. But no matter how simple or modest one's lifestyle may be, every life has one important thing in common: the need for true friendship. A treasure without which life itself would be truly empty.
Thanks for listening. For more Star Trek and Star Wars audio fun, visit holonetaudio.com.